You probably saw our recent BAT Hammerhead build. This 6x47 rifle is awesome. In this video, we've got the man himself, Bruce Thom. He's going to guide us through all of the feeds and speeds, features, tell us how this Hammerhead came to be, and more. Hey guys, Gavin here from UltimateReloader.com. I'm back with Bruce Thom, owner and founder of BAT Machine. Thank you, Bruce, for joining me yet again.
You're welcome.
We've put some really awesome stories together here on the channel.
We have.
We did sort of a factory tour and how it's made on BAT Custom Actions, a behind-the-scenes look at what you guys do to design, fabricate, assemble, polish everything. These amazing, what I consider pieces of jewelry. And then we went to Bruce's home shop and got a super in-depth look at Bruce's own personal shop equipment, chambering process. And then we've done a whole bunch of rifle builds, the ones that I've put together with mostly the BAT TR. We've done the EX with 50 BMG and 375 Chi-Tac, Model M. So you're going to want to check out all of those stories. But what we're here to talk about today is the new tactical action. This is the Hammerhead.
Yep.
Let's talk about the key features and selling points here.
Okay, so the initial thing that people probably be excited about is 75-degree bolt lift. It's 15 degrees less than a 90, and it is very noticeable. Then we have a bolt stop that is heavier, wider, and there's two of them that come with the action. So you have normal full-length 308 stroke or the shorter BR length stroke. The Hammerhead also features a magazine stop for single stack magazines to keep you from shoving them into the bolt and locking the bolt up. Unlike the TR, we eliminated the trigger hanger. We moved the bolt stop pin to the top to simplify inletting. The feed ramp has been modified, and of course there was quite a bit of changes to the way the whole cycling happens as far as closing cams, opening cams, to make it our slickest opening action yet, and closing as far as the timing with the trigger interface. I think that covers the majority of major changes.
So let's talk about who this is for. Obviously, a PRS competitor is a great fit for this particular action because it's a tactical repeater. It's got all the features that PRS shooters are looking for.
Yes.
But I'm also thinking high-end hunting rifles would be a great application for this, where weight is not of particular sensitivity.
Right.
And other target applications as well.
Yeah, it was obviously designed with a competitor in mind. That was the main goal, to get a really high-level competitive action based on all the feedback we'd gotten over the years at the TR and things that we saw that we wanted to improve. So, yeah.
Okay, so let's talk about the evolution of where the TR came from and how it kind of sort of transitioned to Hammerhead features. And then we'll break down some of those features that you mentioned in more detail. So the TR was BAT's initial foray into the tactical repeater, right?
Exactly.
Here's the PRS audience. We're bench rest people. Let's bridge the gap.
Yep. So and it was well accepted, and quite a few people use it. It's been a successful action. We sell a lot of them. And probably some people may not see that it has any shortcomings. However, we see things, and we do have customers that, have things that they would like changed. So that's the hammer. We started thinking about all these changes not too long after the TR was introduced, actually, and so,
which is pretty common in product development. In that world.
So we've been kind of accumulating all the things that we would like to see, and decided it was time to do a whole revamp on another, what do you want to say, updated, improved. Let's
start with this bolt nose and the fact that the TR has the counter bore, right? You're mentioning previously that initially feeding was a concern with shorter cases.
Yeah, there were some folks that had feeding issues with the BR type cases, and adding the counter bore actually lengthens the barrel shank and allows the tip of the bullet to get a little more jump up into the case, or up into the chamber, excuse me. And so on our personal rifles, both my brother and I, we'd never seen that issue, and I think part of it is we have tweaked the feed ramp on the TR over the years to where it's not an issue anymore.
I haven't seen it, right? With Dasher, for instance.
Right.
Yeah.
So we didn't see a need to continue the counterbore bolt face. It makes gunsmith's life a lot easier just to have a flat face bolt. So that was, we decided not to go with the counterbore on this one.
Which gives it compatibility with the igniter, for instance?
Igniter, the VR, the Vesper short, the Bumblebee as well.
True.
Are all in that same family.
And you can actually convert a barrel, Daryl was telling me, by taking the counterbar off.
You can.
Yeah.
The headspace is exactly the same.
Yeah, so if you were going to move from a TR to the Hammerhead and you have a bunch of barrels, that would be an option to have your gunsmith just
face the counterbore off.
Yep. Nice.
Relatively simple. So the other maybe glaring issue, or I don't know, issue or noticeable missing thing is no trigger bracket. And that, we argued internally quite a bit about this, but bottom line is the majority of these actions are going into chassis, and most chassis there is no way to get the trigger out without removing the whole barreled action from the stock.
Right.
So why bother with a removable trigger bracket?
It's slightly more convenient to change a trigger because you can push the trigger pins out more easily.
Yeah.
And you can adjust the length.
But the other issue is some stocks require extra inletting.
True.
To fit the trigger bracket in there.
I've been there. Yeah.
So
including chassis in some cases. Yeah.
So we decided to stay with simplicity of just a pin trigger, save a little bit of hassle in a lot of situations.
Yeah.
The trigger bracket on the TR does give you the ability to tune the trigger or the firing pin fall, which has become a non-issue with all the quality triggers out there. So that was the other reason we felt comfortable in eliminating it with the Hammerhead product.
Gotcha.
Another little detail is this little stop screw you see there. And that was brought about by single stack magazines. So this is kind of, I don't know what you want to say, hard-headedness. You get these PRS shooters, and in that type of game, tactical shooters, that are using the magazine they'll rest it on whatever they're shooting off of. They'll use it as a stop to push against. And then they complain, oh, the bolt don't cycle because it binds the bolt up when I do that. And you're like, well, yeah, you don't rest it on the magazine. I mean, you know, that's
back of the magazine is coming
internally,
up.
That's what we're saying.
Right.
And so, but it's like, the reality is they do need to use that sometimes for the awkward positions you're in. So the double stack magazines don't have a problem because they rest securely on the sides of the feed rail, and they can't get pushed into the bolt. But the single stacks with their narrower configuration can. And I shouldn't say single stack, center feed magazine. So this stop allows that magazine to not go into the bolt. It hits on the back edge of the magazine, and that allows you to handle the magazine however you want, push against it, set it on a rock, whatever, and still be able to cycle the bolt.
Would there ever be the need to take this screw out?
So that screw, that was a debate internally too when we were designing it, is do we make that, just machine that feature in, or do we make it removable? And we decided to make it removable or adjustable, as you might say, by putting shims under it if you need to.
Oh, there you go.
Because you have all these chassis manufacturers, and they do an amazing job of maintaining the same stack height with the magazine latches and everything. And some of them now have adjustable magazine latches. But this gives you a way to adjust that, so if the stack up works out to where it's still hitting the magazine, you can put a shim under there and,
Do you sell those shims?
We don't currently. Haven't had any call for them, but
so you could
the
supply
thought
them.
was we could.
It's a capability. That makes total sense.
So then moving on is the bolt stop. It allows faster bolt cycling, and in the PRS game, you're on a clock, and we have had Corson Piper shooting these all season since January of 24, and he loves the shorter bolt stroke. He said it makes him noticeably smoother. And
so the BR mags have a
they
shim
have
in
a
the back,
spacer in the back.
spacer, and that allows you to bring the bolt less far back, basically,
Right,
and still pick up the round.
Basically 400.4.
That's huge. Wow.
And you wouldn't think 0.4 doesn't sound like that much, but when you're cycling the bolt, it actually takes you a little bit getting used to it, because it's like it's not all the way
Not
back.
going all the way, yeah.
But yeah, it makes a much cleaner cycling action, and then it also actually makes it smoother, because just the further the bolt is forward in the receiver, the more guiding surface it has, and allows just you can be pushing on the bolt hard sideways, and it doesn't bind up.
Yeah, which is what you want.
Yeah. So, and then, ability to swap the bolt back to full length case travel is easily done. And then we also up the pivot pin size for more strength, and moved it to the top. So also, again, to make guys like Gavin happy.
Yep. Some inlet fine tuning required on some stocks that don't come pre-inletted for those BAT actions, and yeah, that definitely helps. You've also got the modular bolt that you've got with the
Same
TR.
modular bolt. So the 75-degree thing. Actually, the 75-degree thing was late in the thoughts about this action. We were asked to do a 70-degree bolt, and I was like, yeah, right, that ain't gonna work. So part of the success of BAT actions in bench rest is, I don't know, all these things are my design originally. We have a non-standard bolt lug width, and there's a reason for that. I designed it way back in the day to be wider, to better support the cases. And when I say support the cases back in the day had a reputation, or it wasn't a reputation, it was a reality, of unequal thickness from one side to the other at the head. And so what that does is, as the pressure builds, it wants to tilt that case. And so wider lugs better counteracted that.
Gotcha.
So we've stuck with that. And I didn't want to lose that. And when you lessen the amount of rotation, then you are losing a little bit of lug contact.
Right.
So we threw it in CAD, started playing with how much extraction cam we require on our actions. We don't want to lose any of that, and figuring out what we could do with the closing cams inside the action, how shallow we could make them to minimize it. And we ended up at 75 degrees. We still got 100% contact.
Nice.
And
equivalent surface area?
Equivalent surface area.
Nice.
Yeah. And in combination with all that, starting from clean slate, we were able to really optimize the closing feel of the action with the majority of triggers to make them like just not have any kind of feel as you're closing it.
When the cocking piece is interfacing with the top sear, that kind of interaction there.
Double click.
Yeah. Sometimes you feel
there's a lot of things. It's the closing cams inside the receiver, the edge brake you put on the corners of the lugs, and the cam here, and how much distance it travels over before it can start falling down, before these catch. So it's a bunch of things that kind of are all happening at once as you close the bolt. So anyway, that gave us the opportunity to optimize that. So 75-degree bolt lift, and
faster, and also more scope eyepiece.
Oh
clearance,
my goodness,
right?
it is so nice.
Yeah,
it is so nice. When I built the first prototype and went and shot it, I was like, I couldn't believe how nice it was. It was like, wow, I didn't think 15 degrees would make such a huge difference.
Sometimes you almost want to push it with your thumb, right? Because your eyepiece is so close.
Right.
You can't really get all the way around it.
Yeah.
But this gives you just enough for that.
So, and just a side note, our Bumblebee now is 75.
Oh,
the
awesome.
Igniter is now 75.
Wow.
The Vesper S is now 75.
Wow.
So, yeah.
That's awesome that you propagated those changes across those product SKUs. I'm looking forward to trying those as well.
So initial testing, because we have the modular bolt body, actually the only difference between the 75 and a 90 is the handle section.
Interesting.
The front of this is the same.
Very cool.
So, which made it really nice for initial testing.
Yeah.
And so, like, you know, we changed spring rates and whatever, try and get the best bolt lift, make this thing slick as possible. So back-to-back testing, what I did is I would swap same front section, same firing pin assembly, and just swap the handle section in the same action to do accuracy and velocity testing and SDs and everything. And it wasn't a huge sampling, you know, not thousands of rounds, but this actually outshot 90-degree bolt handle thing.
Wow.
Like I say, it wasn't enough sample to actually say that that it's actually better, but it's
right.
equal, right? You're losing nothing with the 75.
Very promising data.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So, yeah.
So quite a few changes. Let's talk for those people out there that don't know about the different bolt face options that you can choose from.
So bolt face options on this are 223 diameter cases. We're also offering the Grendel Arc series bolt face with this, and 308 and Magnum 532. What we're offering with this model action. Actually, that would go across all the model actions that have a 75 degree and the TR as well.
Awesome. And what happened to pricing relative to TR?
Same.
Okay, so what are you going to buy?
I'm buying Hammerhead.
But the TR is still available?
Oh, yeah. Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
Very cool.
For sure.
So,
and of course, I mean, the best improvement on the Hammerhead is this cool bolt knob. It's got H's all the way around.
Did they have to convince you to do that? Being a bench rest guy?
To be totally honest with you, they didn't even ask.
Oh, really?
Guy in the shop that's doing the bolt handles, he comes to me and says, "What do you think of this?" I'm like, "Okay."
Yeah, right. So we should talk briefly about this. So you guys might have seen, we recently did the 6x47 build that you see here with the Hammerhead. I didn't even have dies. I've been waiting for dies from Treble for this. And we already got some really good shooting results once I got my neck down procedure with non-standard dies figured out or whatever. But I think with the Treble dies, it's going to do even better. And I'm really looking forward to seeing, 6x47 has a reputation of being very versatile from some people that I've talked to, and very picky on tuning and load development from others. So I want to compare this to some of the other 6s that we've done, the 6GT, the 6 Arc, the 6 Dasher, and see how performance and tunability is going to look. But this action right here is going to be our next PRS style build, which is going to be in a Foundation Samson, which is their new totally awesome PRS stock. I've got a barrel blank from a new supplier to me that I'm going to try, a 4-groove barrel in 6.5. So make sure that you stay tuned for that as well.
In 6.5.
6.5 Creedmoor.
6.5 Creedmoor.
Yep.
The classic.
Yeah, really can't go wrong with it.
No.
Very versatile as well. Yep. So thank you, Bruce.
Yeah.
If you want to know more, if you want to buy one, batmachine.com. And of course, if you click on that first link in the video description, we're going to have a complete write-up on the Hammerhead, comparing it to the TR, briefly recapping the build that we did here and all the rest. Great work on the action.
Thank you.
Okay. So what we want to know is, what do you all think? What do you think about the Hammerhead action? Are you thinking about one? Are you shooting one? Drop a comment and we'll discuss. Also, what do you think of this awesome 6x47 that we've got here with the Wook stock? I personally really like it. It's been a great shooter so far, and I'm excited to shoot it more. That concludes this video, and that means it's time to wrap it up. I hope you enjoyed this video. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Also, we're on Facebook, YouTube, Rumble, where we've got unrestricted content, and Instagram. Make sure to follow us on all those channels. Ultimate Reloader also has a commercial solutions division serving law enforcement, the military, and the gun industry. We have some unique capabilities, including a comprehensive suite of recoil testing and evaluation capabilities, trigger profiling, and more. If you're interested in custom rifles like what we build here on the channel or gunsmithing services, you're going to want to go to rifles.ultimatereloader.com and get on the wait list. If you want to learn lucrative gunsmithing like what I show here on the channel, including building custom rifles and Cerakote plus a whole bunch more, you're going to want to check out the Colorado School of Trades, schooloftrades.edu. Thanks again for watching.